Now on to the grand final, the first of 2019, not to feature the top two in the championship. Jaime Busto making a breakthrough, beating Adam Raga for the first time since Paris last year. But now can he get past Tony Bow to take his second career win? 5 of the 6 sections in this grand final to be completed in 2 directions, placing a premium on speed, but the riders also have to guarantee their accuracy. Jaime Busto then, the first rider out through section number 1. This one of those sections completed in the round 1 and round 2 directions. Both configurations posed plenty of problems earlier on here tonight, but the 2 finalists have been evenly matched on them so far. The main step of the first direction for section number 1, nicely completed by Jaime Busto. Now this big step in the reverse direction. We've seen riders halted here, including Benoit Bincaz last time out. Jaime Busto is down for a 5-mark score, and he'd completed that step earlier on tonight. Under pressure in the grand final, Jaime Busto goes down to a first fiasco of the lap, and Tony Bow immediately has an opportunity to take advantage. Machine purring at the base of the first step of section number 1. We know that Bow likes to show great alacrity in these grand finals, working his way through as swiftly as possible to put time on his side for the main obstacles. This one of 2. Bow is up. He is going to take a mark for leaning, interestingly, because Jaime Busto made it through a little bit better on that first step, but it's the second step where Jaime Busto failed that Tony Bow has an opportunity to take the lead of this grand final. Up he goes, and he takes a mark for leaning to move himself onto 2. But Tony Bow looking good from here on in. Jaime Busto having failed section number 1. Tony Bow, close to the finish of the same section, will take a 3-mark lead. Just needs to keep a cool head, and he's done so. Tony Bow scores 2 marks in section 1 and leads the grand final by 3. Still a long way to go, 5 sections to come. But Tony Bow starting as he means to go on. Straight on to section number 2. The same as section 2 from round 2, but now with an additional level of difficulty. The module that Jaime Busto just leapt over must not be used in the grand final. So Busto showing that that's not really too much of an extra problem for the riders. Oh dear! 2 marks dropped on the descent. 1 for leaning as he came down, and then 1 for footing as he steadied himself. So he makes it out of section 2, but it's 2 drop marks for Jaime Busto. And it's looking good for Tony Bow so far. He has a fiasco's lead for the first time in this grand final. 5 marks now his advantage. Can he convert that to 5 marks still after he completes section number 2? Tony Bow already 59 career wins to his name. Leaps over that first jump. Already guaranteed his 73rd career podium is Bow, the 12 times world champion. But will it be the top step of the podium to add to his incredible run of victories? Good work on the descent, where Jaime Busto dropped 2 marks. Bow is clean in section number 2. 2 marks from 2. Busto with 7 at the same stage. And Bow on a relentless march towards victory here tonight. As Jaime Busto steadies himself at the base of section number 3. Same as in rounds 1 and 2, but with a slightly different entry point. Busto with no great difficulties so far in section number 3. Plenty of riders were dropping marks for leaning on these turrets. Wooden crate turrets earlier on here tonight. What can Busto do in section number 3? It's a long one. And it's a 5-mark score for Jaime Busto. And we've seen riders make it through that step without too much difficulty earlier on tonight, and that really is disastrous for Jaime Busto. Things falling apart for him in the grand final. Up against Tony Bow and under pressure. Busto now has 12 marks. Bow with just 2 and looking comfortable. Can he remain clean in section number 3? He would take a 10-mark advantage with 3 sections still to come. Tony Bow at the base of the step that just caught out Jaime Busto there. Busto, a former extra winner, of course, but the very early stages of his World Championship career compared to Tony Bowe. Elegant there on the turn, beautifully done by Tony Bowe so far in section number 3. He's still got to make the crates in the reverse direction, but it's so far so good for the reigning and 12 times world champion. Multi-time winner already in 2019 and our series leader. Tony Bowe with a couple of elegant bunny hops to work his way through. The assistant scurrying across to put himself in position, but he's not going to be needed. Tony Bowe is clean, 2 in a row, and it's 10 marks he leads by at the halfway distance in this grand final. Jaime Busto, the 2018 X-Trial Paris winner. Doesn't look as though he's going to be able to wrestle another victory away from Tony Bowe here. Of course, Bowe was riding with a back injury in France last season. Not to take away from the achievements of Jaime Busto to make his way towards the leading riders. He's beaten Adam Raga here tonight, but it looks as though it's going to be second place for Busto. He's doing all he can to keep up the pressure on Tony Bowe, but he's not riding quite as elegantly as he was earlier on here tonight. Section 4, one that both riders just cleaned in the consolation final. Busto labouring somewhat over the first step in the return direction of this 4th section. Oh, and he's going to take a mark there for leaning. And another errant little mistake from Jaime Busto. You can feel the pressure he's under in this grand final because he's going over elements that he's already made it through earlier in the evening a lot of the time and dropping more marks than he did in the early stages of the event. He's on 13 now with 2 rides still to come. And that means that Tony Bowe has an opportunity to seal the X-Trial with 2 sections to spare. Twice a winner of X-Trial Granada, Tony Bowe. Adam Raga, his rival, also twice a winner of this event. Can Tony Bowe become the first rider onto 3 wins in X-Trial Granada? If he's clean here, Tony Bowe will win with 2 sections to spare. He's 11 marks up, 2 sections to come after this one. The mathematics are straightforward. Busto dropped a mark for leaning in the return direction, remember, making up to the turret, cylinder, tower, where his assistant waits here, Tony Bowe. Up he goes, no great difficulty for Bowe. It's going to be a clean, and Tony Bowe takes his 60th career X-Trial victory to put one hand on the trophy in 2019. The first rider to take 2 X-Trial victories this season when he won in Bilbao, does back-to-back wins, and 2 victories in the 3 legs of the Spanish Tour. Placed Tony Bowe in commanding position in 2019. Disappointment for Jaime Busto so far here tonight. Can he earn some consolation in the remaining 2 sections that are just about pride from here on in? A new step for section number 5. Busto makes it up, but he's got himself into a bit of a tangle. 1 mark drop for footing, 1 mark drop for leaning. Got to try and keep error free for the remaining of this section number 5 now. Busto, who will have to content himself with second position. Still his best results of the 2019 season after a pair of 4th place finishes in Budapest and Bilbao and a podium finish in Barcelona. It's going to be another podium finish here in Granada, and Busto's advantage from 3rd in the championship will be extended. Oh dear, down he goes. Well, I thought he'd got that step right, albeit with a drop mark for leaning, but he couldn't afford to take any more marks for footing, so he had to try and collect his balance without using a dab, and he couldn't do so. Down he goes to a 5. Tony Bowe just discussing the section with his assistant before he embarks on section number 5. First step easily achieved. He's already done that earlier on in the evening. Bowe on the landing, drops a mark for footing. Overbalances on the descent and teeters off to the right, dropping a mark. First mark dropped to the section. Oh dear. 2 marks dropped, 2 further drop marks there for Tony Bowe. Both feet off the bike at one stage there. So already 3 marks for Tony Bowe. He can't afford to drop any marks, further marks in this section, or it will be a failure through accumulation of marks. Assistant advising him to be fast from here on in. It's going going to have to be a scurry to the finish if Bo is going to do it, and he's got to do it spot on all the way through. Good precision on the landing of that step. Time really against him, and observation against him as well. Looking unlikely that Bo is going to make it, but it's going to matter little in the context of this X-Trial. Bo is already home and dry for victory. It's a 5-mark score for Tony Bo in section number 5. His first failure of the lap. But as I said, he still leads it by an 11-mark margin. And victorious here tonight, Tony Bo can content himself with that. Section number 6. Last chance for redemption for Jaime Busto, for whom this grand final has been a disaster. Just 2 completed sections out of 5. Section number 6, a combination, a hybrid of Section 4 from the consolation final and Section 5 from round 2. Busto doing a good job of it so far. Making the turn now on section number 6. Have seen in the past that Busto, once a position is decided against him, he tends to have little interest in the remainder of the extra. We've seen it in consolation finals earlier on this season against Gironi Fajardo. That's a mark drop for leaning, and it's going to be a 5 because Busto tumbles backwards from the main step. So he finishes with a 4th failure of the grand final. A bit of an anticlimax in the end, this final. But you pair anyone up against the might of Tony Bo, and it's always going to be difficult to overcome him. Bo on just 7. Busto finishes the lap on 23. If Bo can manage to get through this section, it will be the 3rd of the lap that's been failed by Jaime Busto and then completed by Tony Bo. And that's the reason so far for the big disparity between the 2 riders. Bo with just that 1 failure through section number 5. Already confirmed victorious for the 60th time in his career. His 3rd victory in X-Trial Granada. And his 73rd career podium. Assistant urging him forward. Jaime Busto failed this step. Tony Bo will take his time as he looks for what could be a 4th clean of the lap. Up he goes, he's done it. Tony Bo moves past the step that cost Jaime Busto and through to complete his lap in the single digits. Tony Bo wins X-Trial Granada, and with a 16-mark margin in the grand final. Come and get me, Tony Bo says to the new generation in the shape of Jaime Busto, who, it has been proven, still has some way to go. So as I said, a significant disparity between the 2 finalists tonight, with Tony Bo comfortably victorious. All the other rounds of competition proving far more engaging and close fought. The second heat of round 2 in particular could well prove vital in the context of the championship overall. I'm happy with a podium, but it was a shame not to make the final because of the rules. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with my riding in round 2 and the consolation final, so it was a good result. In the final, I didn't ride like I wanted. It didn't go like the first 2 laps. I had a failure and had to change bikes. The second bike wasn't quite as good. But I'm happy to be in the final. Being realistic, we're still quite far from Tony, but we'll keep training hard to be there and closer to Tony. I'm delighted with this win and getting back to my best riding. I was aggressive and going straight where I needed to. I've also got through some real pressure. Round 2 was very tough, needing to beat Adam with 6 marks from a whole lap. But I got the best out of myself, rode full of confidence, which is important, and I want to carry on this way. Benoit Bincaz moves above Gironi Fajardo in the championship standings after defeating him head-to-head in Heat 1. Meanwhile, Adam Raga's 3rd place finish drops him back from Tony Bo and closer to Jaime Busto behind. With only visits to Marseille and Andorra still remaining, Tony Bo may well be crowned world champion in the penultimate round of 2019 after a night on which a 13th title moved far closer to his grasp. Bienvenidos